And there we are after a short break back with the second game of this best of 3 series, the only series that we're watching here today at the DPC Eastern European Division 2. I'm Harry Freak, and Team Sexy versus Nemiga should start any second right now. We should be getting ourselves into the draft to see who's going to be getting the better of the trader of the heroes at the start. Hopefully we do not get such a one-sided game, because there wasn't a single time there in the previous game where you could say, okay, Team Sexy, they got this, they can get back into it, can maybe do something against Nemiga. There was nothing to be done after a horrible laning experience that they endured throughout that match. But it doesn't mean that that's how it's going to continue. Team Sexy, though, this is their first loss in the DPC, so it could be a little bit of a hit to their ego. We'll see if they can change something about it, if they have talked through here in between the break and gotten to a conclusion what the problem was, so that they can show their teeth to the enemy. I want to see how they did in the qualifiers. So qualifier, there it is. So Team Sexy, they actually lost to LA Kumnihao 2-1. So they weren't the first ones to get in. Okay. With that being said, ULA Kumnihao, they lost to Nemiga 2-0. This wasn't a long time ago, to be honest, so I'm a little bit scared for them now. They were 2-0, but it seems like Cybercats just aren't the best of opponents currently, and Sigma Y and T. That is true. Both Cybercats, Sigma Y and T just don't seem like the best of teams at the moment. It is what it is. But we'll see. Nemiga still the favorites. I should remain that way, even if game 3 does get forced out by Team Sexy, but on paper they shouldn't be able to get a game off of Nemiga. Overall, their logo is a pink panda. It's cute. Wouldn't really call it Team Sexy then, but it does make sense, you know. Cuteness can be. Either way, guys, we should be getting ourselves into the draft fairly soon. Team Sexy, their victories, we can amount them to the Huskar as well, because they did play it twice. But they did play the Visage twice as well, and it was completely dismantled in the previous game, laning stage-wise, and even later on in the game, it's not like it contributed to anything. So we'll see if they change something up. I really would like to see Huskar. What did they play it against? They played it against an Invoker in the mid lane and against a Sniper in the mid lane. I guess that Sniper was a pickup versus the Huskar in general, and still they won. So it's not like they got a Huskar versus an Ember matchup and then just won it. So they played it fair and square, not just like we're gonna be destroying you in the lane and snowballing from there. It just goes to show how Cybercats aren't just feeling like themselves here. This team was always pretty solid. Alberca, Chira, DK Focus, Force Majeure, Jess V. They have a pretty solid lineup in this tour as well. They changed a couple of heroes players, but they just seem to have not clicked just yet. So the game should have started already. Seems to be some issues with the lobby. We'll have to wait there for the teams to get in. Yeah, there it is. The Monkey King always announcing good things. And speaking of Monkey King, he's gonna be in the game as well. The Storm and the Huskar are the first two bans for Nemiga. They open up with the Phoenix. I like that one. Hellscream is a hell of a Phoenix player. That's actually a very good response to a Monkey King. Beat 4, beat 1. It doesn't matter. The Monkey King struggles against the Phoenix. You don't have that much attack speed. You don't build into that much attack speed. You don't deal well with the egg. The egg can bring you down. The Icarus dive can bring you down. Egg inside of the Wukong's command means that sometimes you're gonna have to run from your own
Dire
ulti.
team ban.
A great pick. And the Death Prophet comes out yet again. Melrine has already shown that he can beat this hero in the lane. It could be an off lane this time around. Maybe an effort is going to pick it up, but Moonlight has been the Death Prophet player.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah,
Dire team ban.
So they're going to get rid of the Naga, of the Terrorblade, get rid of those illusion-based heroes, make sure that they are not hindering your ability to just run.
Team ban.
Actually, they get rid of the Enchantress. I guess you do need a strong laning support on Nemiga. Something that at least has a slow. Something like a Lich could be okay, but they have banned that out themselves. I guess with the Lich ban, Nemiga are making sure that the enemies don't pick up an anti-mage. Because against the anti-mage will actually be quite solid.
5 seconds
I'll
remaining.
be escape with the blink, and against the Phoenix, you're gonna have the Manta and the attack speed necessary to deal with the egg. And we have seen so many people just pick up the anti-mage and the Lich on their third and fourth pick, and then you don't really want to pick up a Slardar versus the Lich. Laning stage wise and later portions of the game is the corrosive haze, the heavy physical damage just isn't all that strong. So do they ban out the Terrorblade now? It could be a pick for Nemiga. It's not out of the question.
Radiant team ban.
Nah, they don't allow it. Understandable. I think that's Violent's best hero. Even during his time in Sigma YNT, he did like to play the Terrorblade quite a lot, so I can understand that they just get rid of it.
10 seconds
Nemiga, they dropped from Division 1. They want to go back there. Their dominance in Tour 1 and Division 2 was amazing, and then they just dropped off in Division 1. Of course, the teams there are going to be stronger, and they just could not keep up. They ban out the anti-mage anyways. Don't want to be playing against that one. Understandable. I guess you just get rid of these comfort picks for Team Sexy. They really haven't shown a lot of versatility. There's been a ton of Visages, a ton of Death Prophets, Anti-Mages, Huskars, right? So it's not like, oh, they pulled this out. Nope. Every single one of their players has like 2-3 heroes that he's very, very confident on. Everything else for now has seemed pretty much lackluster, or they haven't even tapped into any of it. And we saw in the previous game that they just didn't do all that well. And when picking up a Ricky is a weird pick. So Nemiga, this pick right now, it's gonna be very important. You know that if you don't mess it up right now, you're gonna be fine. They go for the Elder Titan. I think they might have some lockdown issues here. They have some stuns, but I guess the damage output is gonna be so high that you might not even need to get the stuns off. Right, because there's gonna be so much magic damage. Phoenix and the Primal Beast with the natural order coming in, that's huge. Curious to see where they put the Elder Titan, but I'm guessing it's gonna be so bad that plays it. You see an Elder Titan, you know that whoever's gonna be laning in the offlane is gonna be smacked down. Maybe get some magic damage, is gonna slow him down. I think Snapfire here is amazing. I'm actually surprised that Nemiga didn't ban it out. It's good versus the Phoenix. It's gonna be laning well versus the other Titan. He wants to hit you, you scatter blast him, he cannot do it, he's slowed down, you get away, Spirit runs out, and then you can turn around on him and actually do a lot to him as well. So Snapfire +1, I would like to see it. The problem is if you pick up a Snapfire, you might have to put the Monkey King on position 5 or 1, and I'm not sure they want to do it. But the one Monkey King here doesn't seem all that bad, but you still don't know what you're going to be laning against, right? Phoenix can still be a nuisance versus you in the lane. So I guess that's the biggest of problems. But the Snapfire either way, if it's a position 5, it's still fine. Or you can send the Monkey King to position 5, just get a ranged carry like a Drow. Well, let's see what's gonna be. Team Sexy, they're taking their time. The reserve, it's running out. 45 seconds is not a lot to have at this point of the draft. You'd much rather have more. They're really thinking about it. They weren't expecting the Elder Titan, and I think this is the first time Nemiga have picked it up so far in the tournament. Nope, actually, scratch that. They did play Elder Titan once already versus ULA Kumnihao. They won the game in 34 minutes. They played it with a Morphling. Blockwork? Okay, so that's going to be the position 5. That can be a problem for both the Primal Beast and the Phoenix. I think you get the Drow. Drow makes a lot of sense, especially now with the Clockwork. You're going to be protecting the lane quite nicely. Yes, if the Primal Beast gets on top of you with the BKB, you're dead, but doesn't have to happen. There's the Drow. So Morphling is considered to be countered by the Drow, but once you get an Aghanim Scepter, you can do well with her. So I'm not sure if you want to get it. I really want to see a Manta hero here. We already saw a PL. Actually, a PL would be cool for Nemiga, but they do have the last pick, so maybe they can pick up their mid laner right now. Team Sexy, they still have a... Oh, no mid laner. That is the Primal Beast. Gonna be in the mid lane. The off laner. So what does Vazia want to play? I mean, another Centaur wouldn't be that bad. Tidehunter, I wouldn't hate it. We're gonna go for the Nature's Prophet. That could be a position 1. Violent does play it. Vazia does play this as well, but I'm pretty sure there is gonna be Violent Nature's Prophet. You can be everywhere on the map. And I'm not so sure you want to pick that one into a Clockwork. This time around, Team Sexy's lineup does seem a little bit better. Of course, you should never underestimate the potential damage output from the Elder Titan. Sometimes this hero... It feels like you are gonna be winning a fight and this hero just changes everything because your heroes die and you're not used to it, considering that the hero is not being played all that much currently. It's crawling back into the meta, but very slowly. People don't really have the sense of how much it increases because the hero needs to be played a lot for you to be able to kind of calculate in your head passively, not really thinking about it, the amount of damage not only him, but the heroes around him are going to be doing to your heroes. It's very specific, and the hero has to be very well established in the meta, or it can be... or it can be surprising you every single time. Like, what the hell was that damage? Well, yeah, well, that's the unnatural order for you. Nemiga, they ban out the Bat. Okay. Bat would have been okay for them as well, but they have the second pick, or the last pick, so that'll be a good one for Sexy. What's the other hero you want to get rid of here? Mars, maybe? I mean, Drow Ranger is okay versus they're going to get rid of the Marcy. I guess that would be okay. It's a hero that can get on top of the Drow. I would not hate a Tusk here, even though it's not in the meta any longer. Malrine is a god on it, and the heroes of Team Sexy don't like getting gone on. So let's say if they would pick up a Tusk mid, send the Primal Beast into the offlane. The Clockwork is still a problem for a Primal Beast, but he's going to be a problem for a Primal Beast laned anywhere. Enigma is going to get banned out. They're not sure if this is going to be a mid lane or an offlane DP. You could go for the Visage yet again. It's not out of the question. It is some magic damage, so the added armor from the Spirit on the Elder Titan isn't going to be helping at all. If that's something that you want, you're going to have 3 range scores though, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But against the Phoenix, that might be the better approach.
Radiant team pick.
The Beastmaster comes out. That's a good hero versus the Nature's Prophet. Not that good against the Elder Titan, because this guy is gonna be smacking both the Monkey King and the Beastmaster in the lane. That's a bit of an issue. So Nemiga, what's the left of heroes that they've already played? Timber was actually left in, so if they want to, they can play a Malrine Timber in the mid lane. Zeus is good if you want to play that in the mid lane. Send the Primal Beast to the other side. Having some extra vision would be nice. Okay, so it is gonna be a violent CK. Unless they want to lane this in the offlane. Nope, it's gonna be Vazia. This CK changes a lot. This would have been a killer PL game. Any kind of illusion-based hero is good, but the CK is just better established in the meta currently, so it does make sense that they go for that one. I'm gonna have to go for Nemiga again. I think they that this draft is closer for sure, but playing two melee heroes versus in a lane versus a Phoenix and the CK, it is gonna hurt. The Elder Titan should do relatively well versus the Clockwork and the Drow, so Vazia should have a solid time. And Melrine has already
10
shown that he can
seconds
lane well
remaining.
versus Moonlight. So once he gets a BKB, gets on top of 7 Jesu, this
5
this
seconds
Drow is dead
remaining.
every single time. You have 3 cores who effectively can get on top of her, and even the supports like to get all close and personal. Plus, again, there is a illusion-based hero versus the DP. But as I mentioned, this time around, Team Sexy, a little bit better of a lineup, a little bit easier lanes. They shouldn't lose their safe lane heavily as they did in the previous one and allow Vazia to just pop off. So with that being said, I do believe this is going to be a bit of a closer game, and it should be because the last one was just a stomp. Even though it lasted for 30 minutes, it was over after like 10. Those games are the worst because they're just taking all of your energy out of you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You don't really want to call GG 10 minutes into the game. It would kind of destroy your ego completely that you're being dismantled that fast, but and nobody does it. You know, you can still learn something from those games. Watch the replay, see if you can maybe do some good movements, practice. And in a competitive environment, the practice, the experience is everything. But still, it does take away a lot of your energy because you're constantly thinking about you and innovative Ace to fight, and the enemies are just like, click on enemy hero, and they're dead just because of how farmed they are. It is going to be a closer game. Nemiga, still the favorites. Team Sexy, not to be underestimated still. But before we do get ourselves into game number 2 to find out if there's going to be a decider or not, we will hear from our sponsors over at TGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
And we do get ourselves into the game here. Nemiga versus Team Sexy. We'll start off now, and we'll see if Team Sexy have something to say about this game here. The Monkey King will be pulled out of his form, and he actually gets himself to the tree. So starts off with the Primal Spring. Now in class, he did get a ward down, so at least something. But yeah, immediately pinged out.
30 seconds.
No, they that was actually Team Sexy. They're pinging out, and it is Nemiga's ward. Monkey King, he does get his ward down now. Hiding in the trees, giving some info to his team. Last time around, 15 minutes into the game, or 12 minutes into the game, they picked up 1 bounty rune. Hopefully, Team Sexy can get more now. Only in the before the laning stage starts, and it seems like it's gonna be a 2 for 2. Yep. Team Sexy already have more runes than they had in the previous game 13 minutes in, so that just goes to show how much better of a start this is. Last game started off with the first blood and 3-1 in terms of the first round of bounty runes. Of course, we're gonna see there on our screen for the last time our observer, the best one in the world. No competition whatsoever. Nemiga. They will they're gonna be laning the Elder Titan on top. I just want to see how much he's gonna be doing. Deny onto the range creep. It is gonna be coming through. Monkey King playing around. 7 Jesu, you come close, you get smacked. Of course, Monkey King, he does have a lot more in terms of armor than the Drow early on, so he'll be able to do well. Scream just wants to be running in. It's a little bit easier when you're in the safe lane. For the Elder Titan, you have a longer lane to chase, but you hurt the enemies either way. And this lane is not gonna be easy for the Drow. We'll see just how many CS he can get. In terms of range creeps, not gonna be getting a single one.
Got nothing.
No, you got nothing. He at least does deny the range creep himself, so that's nice. Scream doesn't want to be coming in. He cannot pull just yet. He didn't find the ward. So the only thing he can do is poke a little bit, get 1 or 2 punches in and get himself away. Ooh, nice dodge from the Monkey King there on the damage. Not the easiest thing to do on the right clicks. Vazia getting jumped on. He doesn't have a fairy fire. He doesn't have his life. And 9th class, he secures the kill there. Bamboo stick to the back. And the Nature's Prophet gets broken this time around. Malrine, he's dropping low in the mid lane. Just like the last time, but we'll see if this time around it is going to be enough to actually force him back out of the lane. Doesn't seem like the case just yet. And he will get the water rune, so Malrine should be fine. Try to push it out as much as he can. Nicely done. He will not get the flag bearer creep, so that's a bit of a bummer. Bottom lane, Nefrit, he really did suffer in the previous match. Now he is having a better time. He's not dying, at least that's something. Of course, you cannot stop the CK from farming. That's pretty much it. Your two melee heroes versus a Phoenix. They did send the Clockwork here, understandably so. 7 Jesu plants a tree, and it will save a life. His own this time around. Just guys, remember, planting trees pretty big. Malrine getting gone on. He does have his bottle, but the Monkey King will finish him off. That's gonna be a huge kill. He wasn't expecting this. Last time around, he was just taking enemy bounties however he wanted, pulling the creep waves, getting away with it. This time around, it is not gonna work out, and the difference between the mid laners is the same as last time, but just the other way around. Vazia, he has the boots now, so he's gonna be a little bit of a harder target to deal with. They're thinking about going for him. Hellscream postures aggressively, and well, even without the spirit, he can pack a punch. Time around, this game starts 2-0 for Team Sexy. They couldn't get those early kills in the previous game quite a long time, and Malrine. Last game, he was the one getting more farm. He was the one getting a lot out of this mid lane. This time around, he's gonna be pushed back by Moonlight multiple times, and it all comes back to that Monkey King that did kill him. He was supposed to heal himself back up to full. He wasn't allowed to. He wasn't allowed to farm. I don't know if it is doing good. Well, did stop that pull. They're going for him. They want to prevent him from farming the creeps under the tower. Are gonna be able to do so for now, but Violent does take a solid amount of damage. Of course, a lot of these creeps will not be going into the hands of Team Sexy. That's quite big. And Malrine, he's tipping Moonlight. Yeah. Nice job. Just continue with your aggression, and we'll see what happens later on. But Moonlight, he's unfazed. Very nice laning stage for him this time around. He's actually on par with Violent, who's been having a free time. Finally, Hellscream does open up that camp, so we'll be able to go for the pulls. Now with 2 points in the spirit, he's a force to be reckoned with. We don't want to be messing with this guy. 9 class goes for a TP out. Will be successful, but that leaves 7 Jesu all alone. Nefrit does die in the off lane. Malrine is gonna have to try to get away from this one. Onslaught in 5, the slow. It might be a little bit too much, and the damage from the Spirit Siphon will finish him off. Malrine is a little bit annoyed by what's happening here. Nice TP from the Monkey, not going to the base, but going to the mid lane. And, well, Malrine wasn't expecting that. The difference between him and his mid lane counterpart is actually huge in this game. Him and the Drow are pretty much in support territory. So, yeah, the Drow not doing as bad as the Ricky did last game. Or at least Vazia is not doing as good as he did in the last game. That's probably the more appropriate thing to say. But the Drow is still somewhat suffering. The Exorcism in the mid lane. The previous game, they didn't take the mid lane at all. This time around, let's see if the first Exorcism might do enough to it. Nope, but the Arcane Rune is going to be a nice addition to the Death Prophet for sure. Malrine, TP out. Clockwork is coming over. That damage. He did kill the creep wave, so just wanted to defend the tower as much as possible. And Moonlight, without the creeps, he cannot do anything about it. He's gonna have to keep himself away. Nice play from Malrine. You know, do the most that you can. That's kind of the motto in Dota. Not every game is going to start off well for you. You're not going to have a good game every single time. But if you find your impact, defending your mid lane tower versus the DP is actually quite a big deal. 7 Jesu. He does have a point in silence. I like this. If the Prana Beast does rotate, you need to have that to get out so bad. It's gonna go for a TP out and success. It is gonna be there. It does survive. No roar on the Beastmaster just yet. Once Vazia gets to level 6, it's gonna be a little bit more dangerous for Team Sexy to show themselves on the map, because the Wrath of Nature, it can do massive amounts of damage. And despite 3-1 kill lead, Team Sexy are still 1k gold behind. These two cores on the side lanes are farming quite well. Jump in from the Monkey King. He's going to be taking some damage. Caught in the trees and stomped on. He's not going to be dodging that damage, but they wake him up a little bit too early. Vazia, he couldn't help himself but smack down the monkey. Oh, he got brought down from the trees. He's dead. They see it. Scream, he loses his extra damage, and 9th class, he's fine. That was a nice find from Hellscream. Fortunately, it doesn't land on the kill. Moonlight threatening Malrine. Let's have 2 more Spirit Siphons. Gonna make it 3 in a second. So bad. Gets out. Ooh, they don't get him down from the trees again. But 9th class, he might actually die because of this. He's taking a lot of damage. Is there gonna be Hellscream coming from the side? One slap. It is gonna be enough. Phoenix does die, but 9th class will follow immediately. Elder Titan has enough movement speed with the Spirit to get himself away, and well, 7 Jesu alone against the Nature's Prophet isn't going to be farming as much as he would want. But for a draw, if you're having a longer laning stage, if you're getting towards your level 6, you're going to be happy. Malrine, he plants the Seeds of Serenity, but in the end, the Death Prophet just didn't have enough damage to bring him down. Still is continuing with the dominance here in the mid lane. The difference between them is still more than 1,000 gold. And he gets delivered some clarities. The bottle gets refilled. So Moonlight, he won't really be needing to go to the base. The next exorcism is going to be coming soon. Still, Nature's Prophet ulti now at the ready. So that is something that you're going to have to be afraid of, especially with the top tower falling. See now Malrine, he gets himself away just in time. The supports are here. No glyph on the side of Nemiga. This tower should fall unless there's a big rotation. They're coming in with Hellscream. Till the end is in the vicinity. They have to get out of these cogs. And Hellscream is just not easy to do. Bound to strike beautiful onto the two of them. The ulti from the Nature's Prophet, it hurts. But it doesn't hurt enough when there's no follow-up. So Nemiga, they lose the tower. They lose a hero. Gonna be quite a nice rotation effort. He has his ulti. Threatens with it. Violent. Covers his ears. Moves away. Doesn't want to hear any screaming. Roaring. Vazia going for Naganims. No surprise there. But this game, Team Sexy definitely are gonna be a contender to win it. I'm having a little bit of a problem with them when it comes to outpushing the waves, but I guess the Monkey King could really help in that regard. We'll see how much he can actually do and how many times he's actually going to be caught when he's trying to go for it. Violent is going for a Midas. Understandable. A farmed CK wins this game, right? Late game, CK, he will win it. I would just like him to use the Phantasm to farm a little bit fast. You can leave the illusion here, just go back into the jungle, but Violent is being a bit more cautious there. 9th class again has been woken up a little bit too early. Silence from the Drow connects them to the two of them, and 9th class will live. I'm actually surprised they're doing this. Just wait to get the treants in place so that you can block him in and you're going to be able to kill him. But they're just right-clicking. That's twice in a row now. I mean, the sleep, the Echo Stomp is actually a very good setup for you to get into a good position. Yes, level 1 doesn't last too long, but it lasts enough. So Violent does use the scans. He's gonna be okay. Really Violent? With the hookshot you will die. He knew. He used the scan. He knew exactly where they are, and he still stayed here to die with the Spirit Siphon. He's taking so much damage to the Phantasm. Maybe it was a bait. Maybe he wanted this to happen, and he did. You can't kill me this deep. That is the Death Prophet dead. And Violent can just continue farming. He just set it up perfectly for his team to bring down the DP. In this game, finally, she has been a nuisance, diving, annoying, being a problem for a very long time. And
is under attack.
well, a setup from Nemiga, knowing that they were
Radiant's
coming
bottom
over.
tower is under attack.
They were ready for it, and they were ready for it perfectly. Now they're gonna have the Phoenix Egg. They're gonna have the Earth Splitter. There's some big spells, some big damage, teamfight spells now on the side of
Dire's
Nemiga.
middle tower is under attack.
Monkey King, he did skill up his ulti pretty early on. Atos coming out. Okay, now he's not getting out here on the CK. The egg does come through, bonus kill, no problem. With the Beastmaster on your side, you're gonna deal with that easily. And another one, hook shot till the end, doesn't allow a Hellscream to get out. And it is gonna be a third hero as well, Nemiga. They overestimate themselves, and we talked about their ultis. If you can't use them properly, they're actually a liability.
Radiant structures
More so than they are
fortified.
something that's gonna help you
Radiant's
be
bottom
stronger.
tower
Malrine gets on top of the Drow. He didn't expect the 7 gesture. The Monkey King is coming forward, but it's a little bit too late, and Malrine is gonna get out. Oh, what a beautiful onslaught. He just doesn't charge it up that long. Understanding that the Drow can get the silence off. The tower deny does come through Moonlight there just in time to make sure that it is his team that gets the gold from their own tower and not the enemies. It's pretty much you getting the materials that the tower was built with back to you rather than the enemies claiming it for themselves. 7 Jesu. Okay, they see Malrine, but seeing, is that gonna help? He doesn't have the trample. Ooh, a little bit too early there. Gonna be slowed down inside of the Wukong's man. You're not getting out of this one. They even have the Lances of Pursuit, so he pretty much wasn't moving there on Malrine. Feel too good. Silence onto the Elder Titan with the slow from the Monkey King and the Lance of Pursuit and the Orb of Venom still slowing him down even further. So Nemiga, they lose 2 heroes in quick succession with Team Sexy. Quite happy with it. Very important that they brought down the mid and the bottom tower. If you have a Beastmaster DP, these heroes have to be taking tower downs. Taking towers down. Not tower downs.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
But if you're not using the pushing potential of your heroes, that's a problem. Of course, Nemiga, they did the
Dire's
same
bottom
thing.
tower is under attack.
For them, it might not have been that much of a necessity, but still, of course, going to be quite nice. Aghanim Scepter from Vazia. That's going to be
Radiant's
huge.
courier
More
has been
problems with the
killed.
lanes. This Monkey King is doing quite a lot. 9 class. I can understand why they're banning the Monkey King for him. He really has been doing so well. His movements are crisp. His spell usage is nice. He understands exactly what he's supposed to do. He's gonna be going for drums. Okay. Considering that with the Monkey King, you don't necessarily want to buy the boots, especially on a support. I'm curious to see if he's gonna go for the boots of the bearing. Top lane, TP in from the DP. Vazia gonna be stunned up. There is an 8 toss, so yeah, what a stomp just in time. Vazia is out. Moonlight doesn't get the 8 toss off. He's probably waiting a little bit longer, but the stomp comes out just in time. So what you want to do if you're Nemiga is push out Nefrit from the bottom part of the map. You don't want to allow him to control your jungle, maybe 1 or 2 camps, but every single time that Nefrit descends into his triangle, that's a sad moment for Team Sexy. So that's why you want to be having the CK in an aggressive position on the bottom lane. That always is going to be pushing Nefrit out. Invis from the Death Prophet running in. Vazia has been found. Malrine could be huge as well. He gets silenced, and he's gonna be silenced for good inside of the Wukong's man. He's not going to get anywhere, even with the upper. Actually, the Earth Splitter, he gets himself out. Malrine is alive. Whoo, that Earth Splitter pulling Moonlight just a little bit further back. It didn't seem like Malrine had any chances of getting out of that situation alive, but it did happen. And this exorcism, well, other than doing some damage to the ancients, it's not gonna be worth anything. CK on the bottom lane, he's fighting an epic battle, but does get thwarted. The ancient black dragon a little bit too strong, and guess who's here? The Monkey King 9 class. He's everywhere, killing everybody on Nemiga. No, I didn't manage to get a kill on top. Okay, I'm already bottom, and with DP having the boots of travel, she's following everywhere. Violent is still topping the network chart. We'll see for how long. So bad. Being targeted, will have to fly away. I don't think you chase that one with the hook shot, even though Phoenix's would be a nice kill. They're still diving him on the bottom lane. Phoenix. He gets silenced. Nice jump in from Malrine. He finds the DP. Is gonna be cancelled there. His ulti doesn't matter. It's still gonna be a kill until the end. Let's see if Moonlight will have what it takes to survive. He does have the Quelling Blade to eat through the trees, but they didn't lose the tier 2. That's big. Team Sexy. They get themselves even more of an opening on the map while their Drow is still farming. And then, well, Drow is not topping the network chart, but if this farm continues, he could be able to get on top here. This Monkey King really gave everything to Team Sexy. I think it's a first phase ban for against them. He's just playing it too well. I mean, people are sometimes gonna be like, yeah, what are you gonna do with a position 4 Monkey King? But when someone is such a big specialist on a hero, it's just too hard. Phoenix, 3 points in the Sunray. He wants to go for a shard. Once he has 4 points in that one, that is when things really do get hot. Monkey King in the trees. He has found another one. Violent is in the vicinity now. It's time to run away. Actually, he turns around onto the Monkey King inside of the Wukong's man. He's not going to be taking all that much damage with the trample. He will, and Violent with his illusions get so much. Of course, the Quelling Blade there onto the Death Prophet again allows her to survive, but that's a big fight for Nemiga. They get 2 kills, and they get a ward as well. Of course, while this is happening, both the Beastmaster and the Drow are farming, so not the worst thing in the world. But making a play and it not working out is always going to be a bummer. Drow Ranger, Hurricane Pike ready. He's going for a shard, understandably so. It is going to allow it to push out the waves with a little bit more of a success. It's going to be faster, it's going to be safer. Malrine, he has learned his lesson about diving this Drow on the top lane. A little bit too dangerous, and the supports are back into the world of the living. So shard ready on the Drow. Shard ready on the Phoenix. Moonlight going for a BKB. He's gonna need some time before he gets there. Malrine's BKB is coming over, so only the hookshot and the roar will be able to cancel out his ulti. Pulverize now will be a big deal.
Excellent.
Violent. Is he again baiting? He might be. He's just using his ulti to farm. The Beastmaster has been on this bottom lane and he's actually been getting quite a big chunk of the map, especially now with the tier 2 falling. He's gonna be top of the network chart. Finally, his teammates are starting to come to him to play with him, so that's gonna be hindering his farming ability. But he is still still gonna be a pretty big contender for the top network spot for the pretty much entirety of the game. They don't have a lot of levels on Hellscream, so natural order is just not what it could be just yet. This is the thing. The magic part of it is huge with the Phoenix and the Primal Beast on your side, even the Wrath of Nature. But the reduction of the armor from the Elder Titan in the later portions of the game with the CK on your side, which is one of the biggest physical damage dealers in the game. Not in this game, in the game altogether. It's gonna be a problem, especially for a Drow who's very rarely gonna have any kind of bonus armor. I'm guessing Beastmaster does get an AC, but first he needs this blink to be delivered, which is on the career right now. Then a blink, and maybe then the AC will be the item on the menu. Nemiga. They don't want to wait for any longer, so they will get themselves into a smoke and move towards the bottom lane. They're going slowly. They would love to get the Beastmaster, but the Clockwork is there to break the smoke. It's gonna be an easy target, but they wanted more. They wanted something bigger. Nefrit is already out. The second the Clockwork gets caught, he's TPing out of there, and well, it is what it is. You get only the Clockwork kill. Vazia is pushing out the top lane, so that's big. Both of the side lanes will be going in favor of Nemiga. The only thing you can do right now from Team Sexy, push in the mid lane, posture aggressively, get their attention to the mid lane, and that's going to alleviate the pressures from the side lanes. That's the best thing you can hope for. Vazia, Maelstrom into a BKB seems to be the choice for him. And CK will finally get his blink stomp onto onto the Monkey King. It will connect. Hellscream doesn't want to use the Earth Splitter. Understandably so. There's no fight to be taken there. He's going for the drums. Force Staff is going to be next against the Clockwork, against the Beastmaster. The Force Staff does make a lot of sense. Even the Monkey King, you want to get out of the Wukong's command. I'm loving the item choice from Malrine. He wants the Lincoln Sphere, so just wants to not be stopped during his BKB. And that's great. Until the Drow has her BKB, if you get on top of her, she's dead. Right? Even with the Hurricane Pike, it's not enough. You're still gonna kill her. There has to be some help coming through, and with the Lincoln Sphere, you're gonna make sure that that help doesn't really come that strong. The gem comes out from Team Sexy. So they are already a team with better vision. They have Clockwork Beastmaster and this Monkey King. Vazia? Vazia is dead. There's no way you're living through this one. Actually, Monkey King doesn't want to go forward. And I mean, looking at it, it's actually Team Sexy that are in trouble because Nemiga are coming here. They're not on the bottom lane. The Drow would be a perfect target. But back into the tower he goes. Nemiga, you should know about this. But actually, how deep do you want to dive? Not that deep. Our Ranger does get spotted on a ward, but he's already back. He's not crazy enough. He's gonna go through his base. Very nice read of the situation from 7 Jesu.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gonna have a BKB. Vazia has to deal with the split push of the Beastmaster. It's just not something you can allow to go for too long. Your tower would get destroyed, or you would have to use a glyph, and there's no more glyph refreshing other than when your tier 3 falls. So you do want to save that one for a good moment. Team Sexy, they're the ones in the smoke. They're coming towards the bottom lane. They want to push. Yeah, glyph is at the ready. Let's see, Sexy, what will they do? They're trying to force Nemiga back in the base, and they will be successful at doing so. So this split push potential for Nemiga, it is going to be countered by just posturing aggressively onto this bottom lane. That's why taking that tier 2 tower was so important early on. Seven Jesu is continuing to farm. Hellscream is really struggling in terms of levels. He's level 9, 24 minutes in. I guess you have a Phoenix, so his levels are more important, but having Natural Order at least maxed out is a big deal. Drow, BKB almost done. Vazia, no BKB, no life, no way you're surviving through this one. In the middle of the Wukong's command, the biggest number of the Monkey Warriors slapping you, and that's 5. Roar onto Malrine. Look at that damage. It's actually insane. A couple of hits from the Drow. They're gonna do the job. The stomp coming out from Hellscream a little bit too late. They get the kill. They go for a nap, and the bonuses will just keep on coming. The Stun Rate does a lot of damage. Till the end has to be careful, but the Balance Strike connects, and now with the silence, this Phoenix is dead as well. No way you're getting out of that one. That's 4 heroes dead around the map, and Violent, he's farming. He understands its importance as a CK with that BKB. But without your teammates, you're nothing. Straight into the pit they go, from one objective to another, and now the biggest of them all, the big man in his pit, is not going to be alive for long. With the inner beast aura, they just make short work of this Roshan. 7 Jesu secures himself an Aegis, so double life for the Drow Ranger. 7 Jesu, he has had a very boring game for himself, hitting creeps, that's about it. That's the only thing he has been doing, but it doesn't matter. It gives you a victory and you're happy. Moonlight. Maybe they can kill him. That'll be a big one. They don't know if he is alone. Maybe guess he's in a good position, keeping himself away from Violent. Does have a BKB, so he can respond to the stun, but the 4-second stun can kill him. Violent doesn't want anything to do with it. Will go through the trees, maybe cut a wave if he wants to, or just TP out, which would be the safer option. Without the TP, I guess you don't want to show yourself.
Top tower has fallen.
Game isn't looking good for Nemiga. It looks like there's a good chance we're going to be going to a game 3, and it seems like when they don't crush their lanes, they're just not as powerful. Nemiga has always been a snowball type team. They haven't been able to accomplish much in this game. Violent does use his illusions. Jumps into the trees. No one is chasing him. Lucky for him, to be honest, because if the Monkey King was relentless as he was for the majority of the game, he might have been able to find him.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bottom tower, some damage is gonna be taken there, but really nothing significant. So Team Sexy, they are continuing to maneuver well around the map, keeping themselves healthy in every way. HP, mana, lane positioning. They still have the Aegis for another 3 minutes and 20 seconds. It doesn't get much better than this. Nice jump out from Violent. What a response. The Beastmaster blinked next to him, so that roar could have come out unexpectedly. But Violent, even though not being part of the action for a very long time, he's still very much focused. I have to say that's what I'm always impressed from Chinese teams, is that even though there's like a 20-minute pause, a farming type game, they always execute everything perfectly once the team fight comes out. It's very hard to do so because you are you do lose your focus if the game's going wrong. Violent is gonna be caught. He has the BKB, uses the Phantasm. That is huge. I think this is now a push easy for Team Sexy. Bottom lane a little bit easier to go for. Mid lane, more angles at which he can be initiated on. So bad. He hasn't really shown the power of his Phoenix. His tower is gonna be dropping. The glyph was already used, and they have a glyph of their own. Team Sexy, the split push is being attempted in the top lane by Vazia, but we'll see just how much success he's gonna have. Not as much as Team Sexy, because they're getting themselves their access here. There's absolutely nothing you can do to stop the Nemiga coming from the side, jumping from Violent. He's gonna be roared immediately. Goodbye, Violent. That's your carry that immediately dies. Let's have a buyback. And from the other side, Malrine goes in. He starts trampling everywhere and smashing the Charger into the ground. The Earth Splitter will be doing a ton of damage. They need to be finishing off the Africa. Won't be able to do it. They killed the Aegis hero, but he still has one more life to fight with. Malrine is not gonna be moving. He's gonna be silent. Seems like forever coming over. Diego's already popped, and they're gonna let Malrine die. They did defend their axes. That caused them the carry buyback, but yeah, that carry is dead yet again. So it might be time for Nemiga to call it a day, because they've lost their carry twice now in a row. He's not gonna be able to do much in this game any longer. Item progression ruined, and Raxus ruined as well. And looking at Team Sexy, everybody's healthy. Everybody is ready to continue with the fight, with the push. There's not much that Nemiga can do to stop them. 7 Jesu going for the tower. The Stomp will come out onto the Clockwork. He's gonna be the only one. He knows he can take a nap, considering that his teammates are there to protect him. The ulti from the Nature's Prophet. We haven't seen many of those, at least not many of those that did anything to Team Sexy. Nemiga, they haven't done much of anything in this game. And number 2, haven't found an opening. Kind of the same problem that their draft could have had in the previous game. If you're behind, are you really gonna be doing anything? Jesu? Don't want to be a part of that one. They do save their second melee racks. Ever so barely, though. 9 class, he might decide to go for it. 105 damage. You need like 3 hits. I'm not sure you get them. But either way, 11k goal lead, 13 minutes into the game. The goal lead in itself, it's not insurmountable. But if you look at the difference between the strength of the teams, it's actually insane. Nemiga, it did show they can kill the Drow in the previous fight. But 7 Jesu was playing a little bit more aggressive than he otherwise would probably. And probably would pop the BKB there if he did not have the Aegis. Tenjin Kaya on the DP. Some big items are going to be coming now after that push. The Daedalus on the Drow doesn't even want the Silver Edge. He has the Blink, he has the Hurricane Pike, so enough in terms of mobility items on him, it seems like. The Ancient Ice Shaman. That's gonna be the creep that the Beastmaster finds for now. Obviously, you would. I think you would want the Ancient Thunderhide the most, because right now you don't need to be split pushing, so no need for the Black Dragon. And the Thunderhide is nice just because of the extra attack speed for the Drow. Team Sexy, they're going for a smoke. If they kill a hero right now without the buyback, it's gonna be a disaster, and only the Phoenix does have one. Final Beast, yeah, does have the Lincolns, but he has gotten broken immediately with an 8 toss, so the roar will come through. Hookshot. Fortunately for Nemiga, is not gonna be connecting, but that is a hero without a buyback. Team Sexy, are they deciding to go for a push? Nope, they back out. They understand the dangers of being a little bit too aggressive. TP out from one support, TP out from another. Phoenix and the other Titan will be okay. The impact from the supports of Nemiga hasn't been felt, really. Laning stage, they were okay, but other than that, the egg hasn't done anything. We didn't see the damage of Nemiga just being overwhelming with the natural order. Phoenix, stop, brought down, gem, gonna be given to the enemy. Can they take it? Nope, it would just be costing him his life as well. Hellscream, a couple of hits, 7 Jesu, he hurts. Speaking of the two supports, they are dead, and Team Sexy, are they going for this? They are really just playing this super safe, pushing in the top lane. Mid lane a little bit tougher to push, but I think it's time to just get that down. The Phantasm was used, and he's gonna send the illusions just to die. Violent. He also has been very quiet in this game. No glyph, no second lane of Rax. We're pretty much going to a game 3. No way to sugarcoat it right now. Even if Nemiga would win a fight, a lot of their lineup is destroyed with the 2 lanes already dead. The exorcism does get used, no glyph, for a couple of seconds, and you might need a couple more for you to be able to protect these Raxes. Jump in from Vazia, pops the BKB, tries to fight. The Dapner does come out. Violent stun, not going to be connecting. Nice BKB. Malrini has to use BKB to run. Vazia is also using his to run as well. The egg will get used, but look at the damage coming up from 7 Jess. Even though the hero is next to him, everybody has to run away. That Daedalus, it hurts. And now with the force steps, you try to get away, but the hookshot will follow you wherever you go. They've called GG. There's absolutely no chances they can come back into this game any longer. They gave it their all, and they didn't even get a single kill. Nemiga get decimated in this game. It started from the laning stage. You could see in the previous game, Malrine on the Primal Beast, he was doing well versus the DP. In this game in particular, he was doing pretty badly. This is how the lane usually should go, but the Primal Beast can go with the shenanigans, pull the wave into the jungle, farm the jungle and the wave all together. This time around, you were against the Monkey King, who was everywhere, following your every move and preventing any kind of shenanigans, any kind of farm patterns for the Primal Beast. And for me, 9 class, definitely the MVP of that game. He's the one that crushed the potential of every single one of Nemiga's heroes, and they weren't able to do anything. Really, support, scores, whoever wasn't really a part of that game. Only Vazia with his split pushes was a hero contributing to any kind of impact, and that one bait from Violent, that's about it. But we saw in the previous game, 2 good plays for Team Sexy are not going to get you the victory. Same is true here for Nemiga. 2 good plays are not going to be doing much. So it seems like the laning stage is something that these teams really have to put a lot of emphasis on. And also that Monkey King, I think, is being banned out at the start for sure, because he just did so much in the game number 2. But with that being said, guys, we are going to be lucky today because we're going to have a full 3-game series. We're not going to have only 2 games. Nemiga are not going to run over Team Sexy, but we're going to have a really big fight here to see who's going to be at the top of the standings here after week number 1 at the Eastern European DPC Division 2. So stay with us. After a short break, we're going to find it out.